Lijit basically is the search widget that sits on your blog, right? So here's my blog. And you can do searches. So if I do a search for, say, Tiny Twitter, which we all know Kevin wrote. If we don't, we do now. And if the network had any speed to it, you'd see that this would return a few results. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Did you break it?
Nope, there it is. You'll see that right here, it breaks it into 3 sections. My blog, my content, and my network. My blog being the things I've written, content or things I've linked to, or my Twitter, or multiple things. And then my network are people that are one step further, trusted sources. So if you scroll up, you'll notice that on my blog, I linked here to Kevin, who wrote Tiny Twitter. In my content, here's actually the Tiny Twitter site itself, because I've linked to it from Delicious or something like that. And then you'll also notice that a tweet that Kevin wrote shows up within the results as well. So this gives you a general idea there. Here's a tweet from Stan that brought up Tiny Twitter. So Stan's in my network, sort of connected, and I think since Stan built this system, his stuff always shows up. But if I do a search, if I do another search, say something simple like Facebook friends, right? You'll see that what we've done is that we've gone in and we have created a small application that pulls in all your friend data, so who your friends are on Facebook, and then it'll go in and it'll pull in the same sort of data. So here's stuff around Facebook, scroll down. And if you notice here, Facebook comes up. Here's from an app, dog book on Facebook. So the ad searches the apps. And if we actually click on our network, you'll see that one of my friends' content shows up as well. So what we've used Facebook for is really to pull data as another point within your social graph, right? So it's part of that component to it. If we go to Facebook itself, so everybody gets that. That's pretty straightforward, right? Simple. The idea here is that what Lijit does that's more interesting than a normal search application is it allows you to discover content that you may not find otherwise, and in a trusted environment, right? That's in essence what Lijit does. If we go to actually I'll just show you this. If we go to my profile page on Lijit, you'll see here's a listing of all of my Facebook friends, or at this point, a bunch of my Facebook friends, and that's where some of the data is being pulled from. The application that was written by Stan, and so Stan could probably talk a little bit about it as well, in essence allows us to get to that data. It doesn't do a lot about searching within Facebook itself, and so we are looking to sort of expand our presence upon Facebook, figuring out whether there's a way, for example, if I've got 3 degrees of separation, right? There's myself, there's the people I trust, and there's the people they trust. There should be a way to graphically represent that on Facebook. And then from there, I should be able to discover new content, new friends that are related to people that are in my trusted network. And then once I get to them, be able to drill down and do search from there and learn more about the stuff that they're writing or the stuff that they're creating online. Again, in a completely trusted environment, which is the general concept. Did I cover it all? So, in essence, that's legit. And that's what we're doing on Facebook. Any questions? Try to make it simple and quick.
What's Ham Swords?
What's Ham Swords? Ham Swords is my rock band. It's in fact the greatest rock band of all time. So, yeah, it is a fake rock band game that has sort of gotten very large, apparently. My ham swords are large. Anything to add?
That's not what she said?
That's not what she said? Yeah. All right. Really just want to take 2 minutes just to show you what we do. Yes, sir?
Are you violating the Facebook terms of service on any level here?
No. I don't know. Are we? I don't believe so.
Or rather, actually, because I'm not a cop, right?
Yeah.
Are you concerned about Facebook terms of service? Is there
So
people generally concerned about it?
yeah, I mean, so from a macro level, if what we believe our value to society is that we're creating a trusted environment, things like terms of service are pretty important to us. I mean, we want to make sure that we're working within all the schemes and the rules, and I think the Facebook application as created was simply just to say, okay, which one of your friends lives on Facebook, and do they have other content that is created out in the world that
Right.
then can become searchable.
Because you
right?
can see down here.
Do you pay attention to open social at all?
We do. So, life of a startup, right? We've spent a lot of time trying to make our application do what it's supposed to do, return results quickly, relevant results quickly. We have started to look at open social. We're looking to expand into MySpace and some of those other open social members. We've had conversations with Facebook. We've had conversations with LinkedIn. They don't quite understand the power of a trust-based search application. You know, search isn't what they focus on. So the conversations have been slower than we like, which means that it appears as if we haven't focused on open social, even though.
I should be more specific. Do you think there's something about your application that would piss off a friend or friend if they knew that it was that you were calling your application?
Well, we're not specifically crawling for data. We're just looking at, so this is a list of Mihai's friends. So that's information that Mihai has made public. You know, who his friends are, who he has friended. And then you can see down here that because Lijit also knows who my Facebook page is, it lists me under there. And so
I think the short answer is no. I don't think that at the end of the day, when you live in a trusted world, that a friend of a friend is going to be annoyed that I'm finding publicly available data from them and that I'm getting to them because I'm connected to somebody they trust, right? Like, I don't know you, right? But you might know Stan. So if I do a search and I come back with a piece of content you've created and I find it on Stan's site, I'm more likely to trust what you've written. And you're going to be happy because somebody that trusts Stan, who you trust, is now reading your stuff and there's some interest there. So I think the short answer is no, and that may be the biz dev answer, but I do think that in an entrusted environment, that in the world we live in, the Web 2.0 world and the open social world and all of this world, the concept of being able to share data horizontally among people you don't know but could potentially trust is completely valid, and I don't think most people have a problem with that. If they do, they opt out of the internet, right?
Is all trust equal among legit people? Like you said, you have a number of different friends, and
Right. So depending on the level of hops they are from you, there's inequality.
but all the ones that are one hop are equally
Yes.
friends.
Right?
well, and it's you have to do bidirectional trust. So even if you trust them, they have to trust you back.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's greater trust if there's bidirectional, if depending on how many hops away they are. There's some weighting applied to if where the link occurs. Is it in your blog roll? Is it a link from a post? Is it a friend of yours on Twitter? Right? Those sort of things. Yeah, I mean, if you're speaking directly to the nomenclature, at the end of the day, we look at it as connections, right? And if you were to sit down and we were to do the 6 degrees, you've seen that app on Facebook where there's 6 degrees of separation, right? Like LinkedIn, I'm connected to 3 million people in LinkedIn. I don't really know 3 million people, right? I know the 500 or whatever it is that I'm connected to. So I think, yes, the definition of friend becomes very loose, and it becomes much more around how are you connected, how closely you're connected.